What's up, guys? Good morning or evening, friends. It is I, Wise Guys, and I would like to show you guys a little more of the evolution that I am making into the medic Moira. Moira, I've been learning a lot about, and what I've learned mainly is that I have been playing her essentially incorrectly. I have been playing Moira more as a versatile support, trying to make her both damage and trying to make her uh, good healing. From what I understand, this is not the appropriate way to play Moira. Who'd have thunk? She is a support character. She should be played as such. So, what we're going to focus on is trying to play her as a support character. What you will see as I play this is kind of an evolution. I don't know if that's the right word, but you're going to see a change in the way I play from early on to how I play this a little later on in the match. You'll be able to see a little more of a shift to the damage or the heal Moira instead of the damage Moira. If you've seen my earlier video where I did pretty well, I was kind of proud of the stats I put up, but I did not, because I did not focus in the right area. I ended up having a lot of situations where Moira just did not get what I wanted her to get. Like she was not exactly, she wasn't being optimal because I was not playing her in the way that she was meant to be played. How do you know how she's meant to be played? One of the ways I've kind of figured that out is by listening to, trying to get information from people who played more games than I have, who's been doing a better job than I have, that kind of thing. One of the places I get that information is the Omnic Labs podcast. Free plug. What I've learned from that is, wow, not to do that one. You'll hear that more than once today, but not to hold down the spray for the heal. Also, what I've learned is that the numbers for her heal are far greater than the numbers for her damage, and you will be far better suited to take the time to put in healing for her to keep the rest of your team alive to deal damage than you would be suited for trying to deal that extra bit of damage to get the kill. Just because it's much easier for her to keep somebody alive than it is going to be for her to straight up murder somebody. Her DPS just is not viable for just being all damage. One of the other things I love about Moira, and one of the things you will see me do an awful lot, is to utilize that fade. The fade is her, I think I called it blink all last video. The fade is her ability, that's her mobility. It helps get you out of trouble if you use it properly. That is what you should be using it for, staying out of trouble. You can get a little bit of heal from your secondary attack that allows you to deal damage to the opponent and allows you to take some of that health in, vampirism. But it's not really suitable for sustain, and I haven't tested it myself just yet, but I don't think it's going to be strong enough with just that and the damage orb out there to deal significant damage. However, you can throw that heal orb out there, and when you throw the heal orb out there and use the secondary fire, you can get some pretty good work done. Also, that right there, what I just did was absolutely stupid. Don't run in when you do your ult. You're making yourself an easier target to hit. Make it more difficult for them to hit you. Because you're going to be dealing the same amount of damage whether they get hit with the tip of that or whether they get hit with the I guess, get hit with her hand. So we got to play that smart. Smart, smart, smart. Still doing well, though. I mean, not great. Still doing well. We're learning a little bit. And as you see, I am still kind of leaning toward the damage output. I realize that I have not been doing an awful lot of damage, but you can see in the way I play and in the way I position myself that I'm trying to do more to be a threat to the enemy than I am trying to be a help to my team. And I think some of that is showing in how well I am playing. Because of the fact that I am not playing it properly, I'm not being as good an aid to my team, and because of that, we're kind of getting pushed. Because right now, I am the primary healer, I think, on the team. We just lost somebody. Maybe we'll get somebody else. But I'm the primary health on the team, and if I'm not playing properly, then we're going to start losing ground, and that's just not good. Don't worry. Evolving. Slow but sure. Give me a little time. I'm getting there. One of the things I learned, and it's a really good tip that I learned, and I will pass on to you guys. If you are trying to heal as Moira, it is much better to throw out the orb than it is to lean on that spray. Number one, the orb both of them can heal multiple people, but it's very good to note that that orb, the cooldown is not that heavy, and the spray is a limited resource. Not only a limited resource, but it's a limited resource that heals over time. So sometimes it is just smarter to throw out the spray, or throw out a burst of spray, and then throw out the orb, or throw out the orb and then a burst of spray, and get out of the way. Because when you throw that orb out, it's gonna get some healing on. When you hit them with the spray, whether you're laying on it or whether you just hit them with one little blast of it, they take the healing and they continue to heal. I don't know exactly how long you heal, but you get some extra healing in. And that's what's to note. Like right there what I did, that's not smart. I wasted far too much of my resources laying on that heal when I should have just thrown the orb out in the first place. Staying with him. Did not get the kill. Did not get it. And that's another problem with trying to be a damage dealer. Because you don't deal enough damage, you'll very often find yourself out of position in a place where you can't help your team. And if you can't help your team, oh, that was bad. That was just poor. But if you're out of position because you're trying to get a little bit of, that one extra burst of damage in to get that kill, it's not viable for your team. What you'd rather be able to do is to do a little bit of damage, force them to be out of position, and then put in some work to make sure that your team stays alive. The longer you can keep your guys alive in a fight, the much better you'll be. It's just smarter. Just smarter. So you'll see, I'm starting to back up just a little bit. I'm still not in the best position. I'm still running in with my ult like a dummy. But again, not doing anything ridiculous just yet. Ah, we almost got her. And you see my instant desire to go after her. I saw where the teleport, which direction the teleport hit her, or made her go, and I wanted to go after her. Like really, really wanted to go after her. It's not a good plan. And it ended up getting me killed. And again, my teammates are out there missing some good healing because I'm an idiot. So I think right about now you'll start to see a bigger shift. That was a poor decision. But we're going to start trying to make a bigger shift now. I believe this is the point in the video where I start trying to keep my team alive a little bit more, as opposed to trying to deal more damage. Right there, I definitely shouldn't have died, because as you see, I got all these abilities. If I play smart, I can get these abilities off cooldown, use them when I need to, and continue to be a problem for the enemy team. And I'm just not doing it. Bad me. Bad llama. Alright, so here we go. Go for the heals. Everybody gets the heals. See how I tried to get out of the way for that? Try to get out of the way for that tire. I didn't know if you saw me or not, but so right there, I put a little bit of pressure on. I back up. The damage orb was because I knew my team wasn't quite in that best, I guess the best position to fight back from in that corner. Right now, wasting resources. That's all I just did. And while the Orisa player was happy that I gave heals, that was not the best position to give those heals, and not the best way to do it. I sat and laid on the spray, and I ended up missing him more than I hit him. Ran out of it, threw the orb, did not throw the orb in a good position. Ended up having my Orisa not get any good heals, and not being able to help with spray afterwards. Kill the Reaper, kill the Reaper, kill the Reaper. The healing has gone up just a little bit. Not enough to write home about. Did not heal Moira there. Ugh, watching this gives me the heebie-jeebies. We're not doing poorly though. We're in a good position where we can keep our team alive. And again, that's always good to be able to fade out. That was the wrong orb for that. If they just got hit with an ult and locked into place, should have thrown out the health orb right at the orb, or right at Zarya's ult. That would help us keep them alive a little bit longer. Even though I don't think we lost anybody during that exchange. Some of that could have been the spray, but you know. Resources are low, so we got to keep that healing orb up. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. So time for another orb to go out. Should be the healing orb. We're in the middle of a team fight. They're starting to run out of resources. We need to be keeping our team alive. She went down the wrong alleyway. A few more heals. And again, I can take the chance at trying to kill the Reaper, or I can keep the rest of my team alive. Keeping the rest of my team alive means they can focus all of their damage on Reaper. Going after Reaper means I may get killed in the process, and give him health because of it. Right now, I'm not looking for a kill. What I'm looking to do is just kind of whittle away at Sombra, make her have to relocate to a new place.
Did I get rid of my thing? Yes.
Hi guys. I try to make sure I keep that that blink for big ults like that. Now I did walk forward during this one, that ult, but I walked forward during that ult for the specific reason of I was already behind them, and I kind of wanted to just force my way back to my team. It probably wasn't the best way to do it, but I really wanted to force my way back to my team, so that way I could make sure that I came out of there safe. In retrospect, it probably would have been better to back up to help split their team up, and then I could use my my fade ability to go around them to get back to my team. Could have used Coalescence, thrown the orb, been in a better position to hit my team and the enemy team, threw an orb, and then use my fade to get back around. But that's match 1. It was a slower progression. I did okay. I don't think in the next match I get quite as many heals, numerically wise, but I think I had better play in that one. So we'll see that one coming up. Sit tight and we'll get right to it. Don't leave. You know you want to stay. You know it.
Damn, it's crazy.
Alright. Let us go to match number 2. This one's at Lijiang Tower. And this one is going to be a little better. Decision-making skills should be a little hotter this time. This is still around the same day, but I'd played a little more of Moira, so I'd learned a little bit more. I still had not learned that it's far better to have her defensive, her healing, her support power, as opposed to her damage. I'm still thinking that she is a viable damage output option. And as I have discussed on the other one, I've learned that that is just not the case. Not to say that she's bad at damage, it's simply to say that she's not as good at damage as she is at her support duties, her healing duties, and it's far better to use her for that resource. However, the fade. I have learned a little bit more about using the fade, and you will see pretty liberal usage of that throughout this match. Faded. Trying to get in an interesting spot here. Kind of let the team filter out, but they all went the other way, so I guess it doesn't matter. Throwing the orb for heals, as opposed to using my ability, my primary fire. And that's the goal right now. Just kind of keep an eye on what I do. I'm doing what I can to stay alive. Now, honestly, I probably should not be alive. I probably should have died early on when they first came in. I was really low on health, but they did not focus me, and that left me alive. Nope, nope, nope. I walked in a little too close. Faye let me get out, throw my orb, and get some heals. And now we stay busy. And so long as his barrier is down, I'm getting heals and dealing damage at the same time. That was a poor orb because it goes nowhere. The orb has a bounce arc. Nope. Fade. You're gonna hear fade a lot. The orb has a bounce arc, and it is far better used in situations where it's not an open field. Because there's no ceiling in a lot of this, it's not a good idea to be using that orb. Look at the fade. Catch this fade, homie. Catch this fade, homie. Also, notice that I use the healing orb as opposed to the damage orb there, because it's going to deal more heals than it would deal damage, and I can still use the damage beam, that secondary fire, in order to gain some light heals on top of it. So A, I'm doing a better job at keeping my team alive. B, I'm doing a better job at keeping myself alive. And C, dealing just a little bit of damage. Again, not a good orb. It's not good healing right there either, though. See how much resources I use just for that? Not smart. But I'm throwing that orb and basically throwing it away. See where it goes? Bouncing off there? It's next to the moon. Doesn't help anybody going out that way. So I really need to be using the orb for more of the confined spaces here. Trying to step on that heal pack so he can't get it. Did not think he was going to die that fast. That's cool. I'm back in the room where we need to be. Orbs are us. And right now we're doing a pretty decent job. If he had his charge, that would have been dangerous. He did not have his charge, so we're doing alright. And Junkrat would have been pretty bad right there too. But again, we did alright. Looks like most of them got their ults as the round was ending. And so that was a big benefit for us, because they couldn't get the damage they needed before we capped the point. I'm sorry, I was supposed to be in bed. I got work in the morning. Early. Boom, 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 boom. So that was a pretty successful round. As you can see, I'm focusing a little bit more on heals and damage and survivability. So that's what I'm really trying to look for, as opposed to try to make her a mage, is try to make her a priest with very good survivability. That must have been a McCree or a Widowmaker or something, because it hurt. Hurt bad too. Ooh. How about that fade? How about that? Take that, chain wielder. Try to help out Sombra, but she ran the opposite direction, or I ran the opposite direction. Again, survivability. Did I have it? No, I didn't have it. Okay. I would have gone for fade right there, but I did not have it. And of course, if you don't have it, then you can't use it. A novel thing. Huh? Now this map is a little bit easier to use the orb on than the previous one, because it does not have that high open space. And because it does not have that high open space, where are you going? Where are you going? Because it does not have the high open space, it's going to be a little more difficult for them to get rid of the orb. It's not just going to fly out into nothingness anymore. I can kind of keep it low to the ground now and put it in some places that gets good damage in. That's how my damages go, baby. I'm gonna be dropping that damage. team is doing a really good job of holding them back. Throwing orb out, didn't get a good angle, so it came right back to me as opposed to, excuse me, being more beneficial. Good fade right there. As opposed to being more beneficial to the Doomfist. And again, we're doing well, but not great. 6-second cooldown on that fade. So I fade, get hit with the Roadhog chain. I can fade out. I come back. Reaper's coming at me. I can fade back again. Orb is still a bouncing. And honestly, what I'm looking for now with that secondary fire is basically who's low on health. If they are low on health, well, I mean, if I can see you and you're the only person there, fine. He can boot me away all he wants to, but I can still do really good damage on that. I know that the hard way. But the key thing I'm looking for is people who are low on damage. Because if they are low on damage, keep that beam on him. He did die though. Fade. Because if they are low on damage, that sucked. That sucked. That was a bad play by me. Particularly because I had the fade active, it looks like. But if they're low on damage, particularly if I can get them in the hallway, it's going to be very beneficial for us. We can press our alt fire and just kind of keep line of sight, and that'll kill most people who are low on damage. A Roadhog who goes into his heal mode while running away, that may not keep him a lot, or might not be able to kill him. But for most other people, like now, for most other people, we can kind of get a good push going simply by keeping our secondary fire going. Keep Doomfist alive, and that's about it. So again, focus on the heal. Focus on the heal. I don't think my heals were numerically as good this game as they were last game, but I think I had far more key heals, like heals in the right place. I stayed alive a lot better. I kept my heals in better positioning. It was all good. Oh, go get him, Doomfist! Get him. Anyway, that's about it. Thank you so much for watching. I really do appreciate it. Leave me a comment. Tell me some more about doing a very good job playing Moira. Not that I'm doing that, but you guys can help me to get to that level. Thanks so much for watching. I really do appreciate it. Peace out!